Oh god, bro. Oh no way, I missed that. Yo, what up guys, MxgicIQ here, and today I am bringing you guys a Division 2 video. It's been a pretty long time since I've played this game here on the channel, so let's try and shoot for 20 likes. It'd be great if we could get that. I don't know how it's going to go, as we've been maining Need for Speed Unbound content for a little while now, but I'm going to branch out and start playing this game again as well. We'll probably be uploading this maybe every other day. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes, but here we are with my first build of Season 11. I'm using a skill damage hybrid here to utilize that Ninjabike bag properly, as I believe for DPS builds, the old meta is still superior. Catharsis and Coyotes are just a little too strong, paired with Matador and Unbreakable. It's a little hard to beat that right now, but we'll see as things keep going if anybody's able to break that meta. But right now, even considering all the builds on YouTube, this is the only real one I see working in PvP. I could be wrong, but it seems like all the old meta DPS builds are just way better. That's just kind of how I'm seeing it right now. This build still struggles sometimes, but it is very impressive how much skill damage this truly does. And if you were to use this with other skills as well, I assume it'd be just as effective. You guys will see it hits for almost 2 million with the sticky bomb leveled up to what it is now. I can gain an additional 20% skill damage on this build as well, which is insane. We're giving up about 12 to 22%, 24% crit damage to do so, but I think it's worth it, as mainly the sticky bomb is our main source of damage. Without further ado though, let's get straight into the build, check out the stats, and show each piece one by one. Alrighty guys, now getting straight into the build. Usually I don't use skill damage hybrid builds, but I wanted to try and make this backpack useful, as the Ninjabike messenger bag, as I'm sure it is to a lot of you, it's kind of like a trip down memory lane, man. I just remember running it in Division 1, and the difference there and the reason it was so good is because we actually had really usable gear sets that were very, very meta at the time, and people didn't really use brand sets like that. But in this game, at least in my opinion, brand sets dominate. I mean, gear sets aren't useless, but they're very easily outclassed by all the perfect talents on these regular gear pieces, because they're just simply the best in slot and gear sets aren't usable. But it's still nice to use something that's actually making this Ninjabike be useful. Otherwise, I don't think it really is on DPS builds at the moment. I could be wrong. We'll see how things play out. But the main source of damage in this build, besides the sticky bomb, is the capacitor, man. And this thing is putting out 14.5% assault rifle damage, damage to armor at 12%, which is very good and is unique to this gun, as well as a 9.5% health damage, which health gets shredded anyway. Now, the talent on this build: shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. So 1.5 times 40. That's a lot of skill damage. And for each skill tier gain, 7.5% weapon damage. So it's essentially half a red. And since we have 6 skill tiers on this build, it's essentially like running 3 reds with 6 skill tiers and 3 blues. And we already have 1 red on the build, so that's 4 reds, which equals out to about 60% weapon damage on this build. That's crazy. And we got 1.3 million armor, and our sticky bomb hits for 2 million. It's insane, bro. This build is amazing in PvE and PvP, which I built it for PvP. That's the difference with this build. Now, the secondaries and the pistol don't really matter. You guys can run whatever there. I'm running a card just because I didn't know what to run, and I'm running a shotgun because I was fighting some shotgun players. Technician is a must on this build, obviously, and you want to spec it into skill damage. But if you guys think your sticky bomb's hitting hard enough and you want more skill repair, I suggest doing that as well. It might be nice with the hive that we are running on this build to keep you alive longer. Now, we're running a Grupo piece on this build. You can run it on the mask or on the knee pads, but you can switch those two out. Besides that, everything else has to stay where it is. You could also run it on the chest piece if you get lucky with a kinetic momentum roll. But we're running it double crit right now, so that means with crit chance and crit damage, with crit chance in the mod slot. We're running crit chance on every mod slot in this build to hit 50% crit chance in the stats, which we'll check out at the end. But it's pretty mandatory because we want our capacitor to hit as well. We want to be a threat with our weapon as much as when our skills are down. That's the main reason. Now we're getting 15% crit damage off Grupo alone and 15% skill damage or explosive damage, with this mask. It's really helping out with that sticky bomb, giving it as much damage as possible. Ninjabike, what it does, if you guys don't know, let's read the stat real quick. Resourceful, slots in with any equipped gear set or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set's bonus. Can unlock multiple bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. So in Division 1, you could use something like Predshe, where you'd have 4-piece Predator's Mark and 3-piece Banshee, or swapped around, and it was just a very, very good, useful bag to run, as it is here, because brand sets are super powerful. I heard there's a little bug with it right now, so as long as they fix that, this thing is super powerful, at least for PvE. For PvP, I think it's very useful with skill damage builds, but like I've kept saying, we'll see how it plays out in the future. Now for the chest piece here, we're running a kinetic momentum Empress chest piece, as we do want to unlock the 3-piece by using 2 pieces of Empress on this build, because skill efficiency gives you 10% across the board. That's skill damage, skill haste, skill health, everything. And we're already gaining another 10% skill damage off this chest piece alone already with the Empress 2-piece, so this is just hitting. And we're missing 2% skill damage here as well. This build's not fully optimized. This thing could hit even harder, guys, I'm telling you. On the mask, if you want to swap crit damage out for skill damage, go right on ahead. Now, we're using skill haste as well with the skill damage here. Kinetic momentum, if you guys don't know what it does, stacks increase your total skill damage and total skill repair by 2% and 1%. So it really helps with the self-healing and the damage. Really helps a lot, trust me. Now, the Picaro's holster. This gives us an extra skill tier so that we have 6 skill tiers while running around with our capacitor. As you guys see, we don't even need the card to hit 6 skill tiers. If you look in the bottom left under the health, it shows that we still have 6 skill tiers while holding the capacitor. That's insane. That means we can jam anything else in the game. If we had to switch to a jammer real quick, we don't even have to worry about it, because as you guys know now, you can't actually jam people. Or so, for example, if somebody's running a meta build with just 1 skill tier or 0, they can't jam my healer hive. I just get to run around in it, which is pretty good. Now, we also have weapon damage coming from this holster as well, so that builds our total damage up for the capacitor up to 75%. That's insane. 12% crit damage on there as well. I'm trying to find one so I can roll skill damage onto it to replace that. That would be my personal intention, would be crit chance and skill damage on most of these rolls with the skill haste on the 2 Empress pieces. I think that would be my dream build here. But we're also using contractors. Reason for that being is because damage to armor actually affects skills. Just in case you guys didn't know that. We're running a skill tier there with crit chance. That's mandatory. That's great how it is. Leave it as is. We're also going to be using the Empress knee pads to complete that 3-piece of the brand set from the help of the Ninjabike. Skill damage and skill haste there as well with skill tier on top. Now you could run this at 5 skill tiers and use the card pistol in order to get that 6th and maybe run a flatline gun or something like that. If you want to run it that way and just focus on being survivability and skill damage, I can build it that way too, which I probably will just for fun. Because this sticky bomb reminds me of Division 1, just like the backpack. I wanted this to be kind of a Division 1 tribute video where I'm using a sticky bomb and the Ninjabike. It's a trip down memory lane, man. It's pretty funny. It's a fun build to use. Now, will you be able to use this in quote-unquote legit fights? No, because people will be like, yo, put that away. But in most servers, when you're just stomping around with the homies or just trying to, solo troll, this build is amazing. I really had a good time with it. So 50% crit chance here, like I said, if this build was fully optimized, which is great. The way I have it set up right now, it has 115. Personally, I'd rather it have the 92 or 88 it would be without the crit damage, because I would personally rather spec in the skill damage so a sticky bomb is a guaranteed 1 hit every time, because right now a player could be using 2.1 and survive it. So that's currently where we're at. We have 20% armor damage on this build with the capacitor out, which is great. 8% with it not out, obviously, which goes towards the skills as well. Now, checking out the stats here on the skills, our healing for the hive is 174,000, which is great. Our health on the hive is 5 million, so they have to really sit there and beam that thing, which you could probably just go by and snatch it up. 106k in PvP, trust me, you feel it, and that stacks with kinetic momentum, which is great. So this thing has 36 charges, which is insane. You can also get 9 chem launchers, but the chem launcher just doesn't play as well as I believe the Restorer Hive does, so you guys can make that decision on your own. I've tried both. I personally like the Restorer Hive better. The mod slots on this Restorer Hive are healing, obviously, repair charges, and health there. Now, for our second skill, the main culprit of this build, the Explosive Sticky Bomb, man. We have it obviously at tier 6 with 4.9% skill haste and 6.8% skill damage. It's hitting at 888 PvP damage before being multiplied, which obviously you guys saw it hits 1.9 million. This thing's insane. 4 million damage in PvE. This thing's crazy. When you stack it with the capacitor, it's ridiculous, bro. This thing is super fun to use. It's a trip down memory lane. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. It's my first build video back in a while, so let me know how I did. I hope you guys enjoy. It's MxgicIQ and free to follow. It's free to sub. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm out. Later.